Alright guys, these Cornell notes are kind of the same thing we've been doing for a while. I'll just fill in some of the blanks for you. So up here you see the essential question. How would you describe gender roles in the United States? How are they similar or different than the gender roles presented in the story? So there's two things you have to do here. You have to think about life here in America and what you know it to be. What's the role, the expected role of a woman, and what's the expected role of a man? Are they any different? Do we expect things from women that we don't expect from men, and vice versa? And the second part of the question, how are they similar or different than the gender roles presented in the story? Well, then you have to start reading pages 1 to 41 and see here what is expected of the main character and girls like her. All right, or what is she expected to do with her own life and expected to do for a man? Now, if you scroll down, I've added some questions here on the left hand side. Usually I make you do that. I kind of did the work for you there. All right. And these questions are somewhat three-part questions. Look at that first box. Who's the main character? Her book, in the book, her age, her gender, her name. That's very simple to find out, but the description on what her life is like, well, that comes from you reading and observing. And I'm also asking about things like point of view. And if we scroll down, I'm asking specifically about some literary devices. Now, in order to find out that answer, click on those links. And it's going to bring you to a page, a study guide of literary terms. And if I scroll through the study guide, I see examples and definitions of different terms. For example, setting. Okay, here's a quote from Wes Moore, the book we read, that kind of describes setting, and it goes on to explain what I mean by setting, or what we mean by setting when we talk about literature. And if you scroll down, there are things like point of view, so on and so forth. Okay, so you got to read up on that before you could give me a good, solid answer. And then once you're ready, you go back and you type here on the right hand side. And then the last thing you do is the summary. Now, if this box seems small to you, that's fine. It gets bigger as you type inside of it. Okay, they all do. So when it comes down to the summary, that's where you answer your essential question and also summarize some of the parts that you've read from page 1 to 41 in this case.